everyone. This is just a special episode for the Honeybee Knits podcast. I decided, well, first of all, does it look bare behind me? That's because I have pulled off all of my whips. They're all on the table in front of me, and I'm going to take some time to show you guys everything that I have going right now. Levi did this in a special podcast for our Levi of WTF Knitting podcast. Went ahead and did this because we are co-hosting a Whip It Thursday call from now to the end of September. And I decided, he showed all of his whips, and I decided I want to show all mine. So some of these you may have seen on the regular everyday podcast, and some of these may be new to you. And my recording setup is a little bit different. I have my phone recording, so I apologize if I'm not looking at the camera or if it's tilted or anything like that. I had to do that because I didn't know if my husband had enough space on his iPad. I just finished recording the episode for this week, and it's 2 hours long, so I wanted to make sure I had plenty of room to record another whip episode, and this is probably going to be about a half hour, 40 minutes long. If you're not interested, feel free to skip, but if you want to see some cool, interesting projects with some fun yarn and lots of project bags, stay tuned. We'll go ahead and get started. So I'm going to go ahead and start here. So I showed this on the regular podcast, so this will be a duplicate, so I'm just going to go through it really quickly. This is in my bird leg bags bag, and this is my color craving, and this is my oldest whip. I'm using Madeline Tosh Merino Light in the Button Jar Blue, the Paper, and the Pop Rocks colorways. And I've been working really hard on this week, and I am on section 4. So it's going to be kind of hard to show you because I am in the middle of a short row, which it is short rows, so it's in a big circle. But you kind of get the idea. You can see my color combination, and I love how this is turning out. I absolutely adore it. It's everything I wanted and more. So if you'd like to see this laid out, you can check out my Instagram page. I am at honey_bee_knits on Instagram, and I've got a good picture of this laid out. And when I took that picture, I was at the end of section 3, so I'm halfway through section 4 now, so I've just done a little bit more on this. So there's the first whip. That is my oldest whip, and I'm actually going in order of when I cast these on, with the exception of the last two that I will show you, which are my scrappy blankets, which are ongoing projects. My second whip is also in my bird legs bags. Bird leg bags bag, and I really love this bag, and I love the interior of it as well. This one, okay, so I do want to mention real quick that I participated about a year and a half ago in what's called 12 Days of Casting On, and what that is every day you cast on a new project, and I talked about it before. So that's where a lot of these whips came from. So first I want to show you the pattern so you can see what it looks like. And it is a mystery knit along, so they may not even have, it's a mystery knit along that's been out for about 2 years. Sorry for the crinkling. They may not have a picture of the finished object. They don't. But if you're interested in seeing what this looks like, this is the Game of Thrones mystery. They may not have a picture of the finished object. They don't. But if you're interested in seeing what this looks like, this is the Game of Thrones Mystery Knit Along for 2015. And it's basically like a large cowl that comes down over your shoulders. I'm using, I don't remember what yarn this is. It's been so long since I worked on it. I don't know if I have the ball bands in here or not. If you're interested in any of these yarns, I do have Ravelry page set up for all of these projects. But this is Lorna's Laces Cloud Gate. It's 90% superwash merino nylon, merino 10% nylon, It's 120 yards per 100 grams. And this is the April 2015 colorway, and it's called Casterly Rock. If you're a Game of Thrones fan, you will get the reference to that. And here's the color. Definitely colors I would not have picked, but it works in the pattern, and it'll be a lovely gift for somebody. But this is what I have done so far. And I really like how this is working up. It looks really cool, and I like the feel of it. I am making the large size, but even with the large size, it's not going to be big enough for, my glasses. It's not going to be big enough for a larger person. It is a cowl, but it's a cowl that has like a, and this is the, well, maybe it would be, because this is the neck part, and then it comes out over your shoulders. So I bet it probably would fit a bigger person. But the pattern's actually really cool. You should definitely check it out on Ravelry to see what the finished object looks like. But when I get done with, when I finish my, my color craving shawl, I will be moving on to this project to finish it up. I'm going to try to do these in order, with the exception of the socks, which I just pick up as I go along. So that's my second whip. Here's my third one in my Downton Abbey bag, and this is a bag, I hope they have a tag in here. Yeah, it's from A Simpler Home, and they use a heavier interfacing. So this is the perfect, I love this bag so much. I really do. And of course I love it because not only the bag itself, but I like it because it's Downton Abbey. And you'll notice a theme. I am a knit-along freak, especially when it comes to Jimmy Beam's wools. Knit-along, I fall for them every time. I've gotten better. I've gotten better over the past year or so, but at one point in time I was knitting everything. So this is Edith's Secret, and this was another mystery knit-along from back in the day when Downton Abbey was still on the air. That tells you how old this is. And it's a beautiful shawl. And and a lot of these I barely cast it on because I only had the day to work it, as stated previously. But I am using Lorna's laces again, and this is Soulmate. It's 55% superwash merino, 15% nylon, 30% Outlast viscose. It's the first time I use viscose yarn. It's 425 yards per 100 grams, and I have two colorways, Buckingham Fountain and a December colorway. The shawl is called Edith's Secret. Go figure, the yarn is also called Edith's Secret. And these were done on my old crappy ball winder, so you'll have to excuse the mess. But this is Buckingham Fountain and Edith's Secret. And these are beautiful together. And again, these aren't going to be much to show because I don't have a... And this is all I have done so far. So pretty pathetic. Not much at all. But I do have my cute little Downton Abbey stitch markers on there. So that eventually will work its way into being a shawl. Some of these might be kind of boring because I don't have that much finished on them. Some of these may be a little boring because I don't have that much finished on them, but I at least want to get them out there so you guys see what's hanging in the bags behind me all the time on the podcast. And this bag is from Hugh Loco, from when she used to make project bags. I don't think she still does, but this is back when she had an Etsy shop, which has been a long time. My little elephant's bag. And this one, this project, see, this is just as much as a surprise for me as it is for you guys. Oh, and this bag is from Hugh Loco, from when she used to make project bags. I don't think she still does, but this is back when she had an Etsy shop, which has been a long time. My little elephant's bag. And this one, this project, see, this is just as much as a surprise for me as it is for you guys. Oh, I love this one. I remember I looked everywhere for this yarn. Look at that. Another mystery knit along, this time for Outlander. It's called the Outlander shawl. And I love it. This is one that I really want done. And I will show you the yarn I'm using. Maybe. I gotta dig for the tags. There, it's in the middle. Okay, so I've got Lorna's Laces Shepherd Sport, 100% superwash merino, 200 yards per 2 ounces. And this is the colorways Kerfuffle and Farewell. Kerfuffle and Farewell. Here is Farewell, and I've got 2 balls of each for this project. And here is Kerfuffle. I love that name, Kerfuffle. And here is what I have finished. I'm actually got a big section done for this. I love how this is turning out. I can't wait to have this one done too. And it is so soft and squishy. This is going to be an awesome shawl. Not to mention it's garter stitch. So anything garter stitch is going to be super squishy. So there's that. My next one, you guys are going to laugh at my next two, because I don't even know if I can count these as a whip. Seriously. Okay. So this again is in another bird leg bags. And it's got my little sheepy. And this is the Cell Block Shawlette. This was a knit along for Orange is the New Black, I think like 2 seasons ago. That tells you anything. 3 now. But I like the finished object. And this is Lorna's Laces Honor, which is 70% baby alpaca, 30% silk, 275 yards per 100 grams. And I do only need 1 skein for this. So it's a very small shawlette. And this is June 2015's colorway The New Black. So this is literally 2 years old. So that's this one. Oh, I didn't show it to you. It's not worth showing. This is all I got, guys. This is so sad. Oh, this is so soft, though. I love that. But that's all I got. The next one, if you were disappointed in that whip, you're going to be disappointed in the next one, too. So this is in my Hadaki, Hadki bag. I like this one because it has a pocket, and it's kind of waterproof. It's like one of those makeup cases. It's like plasticky, but and it reminds me of candy corn. But I like it. Maybe I can get all the other ones done and work on this on Halloween. No, that's not gonna happen. You're gonna get tired of all these Lorna Laces knit-alongs. What happened was I was buying these yarns to do these knit-alongs for like 2 years and not actually doing the knit-alongs. So I decided around when I did my 12 days of casting on that I was just gonna cast them all on and do all of them. Because I already had the yarn, I already had the pattern. I was like, why not? Just do it. Another Outlander knit-along. The last one was from 2014. This one's from 2015. And I think I cast this on as it was happening or right after it happened, so I don't have a picture of the finished shawl, but if you're interested in seeing that, it's the Outlander Mystery Knit Along for 2015, and most of these patterns, actually all of them so far, have been by Unraveled Design and Yarns. So again, it's going to be a Lorna's Laces colorway, because anything Jimmy Bean's wool typically is when it comes to their mystery knit-alongs. They have a good relationship with Lorna. I don't know if that's who dyes these, but the company. This is Shepherd Sock, 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 430 yards per 100 grams. And this is in the March 2015 colorway Chronodune. Done. I haven't actually seen Outlander. I know it's a travesty, so I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. It's on my bucket list. I just never watched it, but I do like the shawls. So that's why I was knitting them. And that's what the colorway looks like. And I love it. I love these colors. And again, pathetic. That's all I have done. Even smaller than the last one. You guys are probably so disappointed. These are like, you're probably like, that's not even a whip. It is a whip because it's been casted on and it's a work in progress. That'd be my dream knitting segment. Oh my god, guys, this bag. Okay. I forgot about the inside of this, and it's such a shame because I don't even know who made this bag. I can't tell you guys. I'm sorry. Oh, yes, I can. It's, it's Halsey Yarn. You guys know her, right? And on the other side it says, have a sparkly day. So this is my owl bag. I love owls. Okay, so in my Instagram post, you'll see, other than pet animals like dogs, cats, whatever, my favorite animals in order are penguins, owls, and elephants. Anything that has a penguin, an owl, or an elephant on it, I am obsessed with. So you saw my elephant bag. I need a penguin bag. I don't have a penguin bag. I have a lot of owl bags, and I have a couple elephant bags, and I don't have any penguin bags. So if you guys know of a good penguin bag, let me know. And I want a penguin bag that's not Christmassy, which would be hard. I know. But that's the problem. I love penguins so much, but every bag I find is... Oh, and bees. Of course, bees are my thing. But that's not really an animal. That's an insect. Anyway, here's my owl bag by Halsey Yarns. And look at the inside. Look at that. Oh my god, I'm in love with it. Anyway, to the projects. And I think this is on DPNs, guys. So, I've talked about her in my podcast before, but Michelle Hunter from Knit Pearl Hunter, she does these amazing knit-alongs. And each knit-along is designed to teach you new techniques. So this was her Unleashed pattern, and it's for mittens. And I love it. So I am using Simply Worsted by Haiku. It's 55% merino superwash, 28% acrylic, and 17% nylon. See, guys, I do knit with acrylic. Oh, no. Well, I might as well just take that out because I'm going to have to pick up these stitches anyway. In fact, I'm just going to take a row out because it slipped out anyway. But I have the cuff of one done. Check that out, guys. And obviously I'm going to have to tink back and pick up because my needle slipped out. And that's the thing about DPNs. I really should have had a cozy on it. But these are going to be super cute. And it's showing up really blue in the screen, but it's actually purple. Here's the yarn. Whoop. And what colorway is this? I don't know if I mentioned it. I don't know if it has a colorway. No, it just has a number. It's colorway 033. Whatever that is. So, I love this bag. I need to get these done so I can use this bag more often because I love this bag. This is one of the bags I'm not going to sell. Some of these that I've shown you, I probably will sell when I'm done with them. But not that one. Or this next one because it's rainbows and mustaches. I love this bag. This is from A Simpler Home. And they were on Etsy. I think they're still on Etsy. A Simpler Home on Etsy. And again, it's another knit along, guys. You guys probably hate me. This is from Marinade Designs, and it's the Use the Force Binge knit along. And this was from around the same time as the first Star Wars movie came out. Not the first one, obviously, but the first new one. I don't remember the name of it, which is probably a travesty in itself because my husband's a huge Star Wars fan, and I actually enjoy watching them too. So the one thing I do remember about this knit along is that when you picked out the yarn, you had to decide if you were on the light side or the dark side. And normally I would totally go with the light side because I like to think that I'm a light side person. But I was thinking more along the lines of this is going to be for me, but it's also kind of like a tribute to my husband because he's a big Star Wars fan. So I went dark side. Husband's totally dark side. So this is, again, Lorna's Laces, Shepherd Sport, 100% superwash merino wool. And you had, if you went light side, you purchased 3 skeins total. If you went light side, you purchased 2 of the light and 1 of the dark side. If you went dark side, you purchased 2 of the dark and 1 of the light, which is what I did. So here's the dark side colorway and the light side colorway. And I remember being so addicted to this, I stayed up late working on it because it is so much fun. So here it is. And the way you make these shaping is you knit a row and then you slide it back to this side and you do the other color across. So like you knit it to the end and then you slide it back this way and you pick up the other color and you knit it across. And this is like short row shaping as well. So it's a lot of fun to do. And I'm actually pretty far into it. It's a fun shawl to make. I would definitely recommend it. Maybe I can get that done before the new Star Wars movie comes out. Probably not, but you never know. Anyway, so there's that one. You should see this pile. It's just like stacking up. Before I get done, it's probably going to be up to here. Oh, I need to put my pattern through these as quick as possible. Okay, this next one is another Knit Pearl Hunter knit along, and it's called Wandering Moon. And it's kind of like a scarf, but it's got like shawl shaping in it, but it's not a shawl. It's definitely like an elongated scarf. I don't know if there's any other... and I think the idea, like I said, each project she does has like a learning, a new technique in it. And I think for this one it was cables and chart reading. And I actually don't know if I can count this as a whip because I actually have to rip it out because I messed up the cable and I didn't realize it until, that's the only thing I remember about it is I messed up the cable. So this is Riley by Haiku. It's 50% baby alpaca, 25% mulberry silk, and 25% linen. It is so smooth. It is so smooth. Anything with silk is. But there's that. What colorway did I get? I got color 127. And I'm working on the bottom. This is going to be so soft. This will make a great gift. So I'm working on the bottom cable section. And you can see right here, I missed the cable. I was supposed to cable here and I didn't. And it would probably be fine if I just kept going, but I really want the pattern. And actually it's upside down. I really want the pattern, so I'm going to rip this out and restart it. So there's that one. And again, it's in a, oh, let me close it up. Well, it's got the little red stripes on it. You can tell this is definitely a Christmas bag or a winter bag. But this is a bag by Bird Like Bags as well. Okay, my next whip is in my Miss Brown's bag. My little handle. I love her bags. And this design, I don't have the pattern in here. This is, and I think all of those I just showed you were all 12 days of casting on. That's all I have for 12 days of casting on. Everything else is whips that are whips that I've casted on since then. This is called the so I probably won't have printouts of the patterns. This is called the Neapolitan Shawl, and it's by Kay Jones of the Bakery Bears. And she designed this a few years ago. I used to watch Bakery Bears all the time. Their episodes are super long though, so I haven't watched it recently. But anyway, I love this shawl and how it's going to turn out. So this is Blacker Swan Falkland Island wool from Swan Inlet Farm. It's a 4-ply. And this is 100% pure new wool. And you can feel the lanolin in this. It's not greasy, but you can tell like it's really conditioned. So I've got tea berry, I've got earth, and I've got Dusty Miller. So as you can tell, it's chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry like ice cream. So of course I had to cast this on and had this shawl. And this shawl is super easy, and I think because it's a 4-ply yarn, it works up really fast. Because I remember I casted this on at lunchtime one day. Okay, so this is something you guys haven't seen, and I'll do this another day. I want to do needle reviews because I have a lot of needles. And this, you guys haven't got to see them because I use these mainly for my older projects that I have casted on. So they're all tied up right now, so I haven't been able to use them for my new projects to show you. But these needles are Dyak Craft needles. And it's DYAK Craft needles. And they are aluminum, but they're anodized aluminum. And I would say, if you've never heard of them, go check them out. But the way I explained it to my husband, because he asked why I needed needles that were so expensive, which I didn't need them, but I really wanted them. These are the Ferrari of knitting needles. Okay, so it's not something you need, but it's something you really want to have. And you really have to save up for them because they are quite expensive. But they are my favorite metal knitting needles. So if you have not heard of Dyak Craft, go check them out. Or don't if you don't want to spend money. We're getting there, guys. I only have 2, 4, 6, 8 more. We're more than halfway there. Oh, I remember this Notions pouch. I was wondering what happened to this. I got this from the Bakery Bears when she sold them. I don't know if she sells these anymore. Okay. I want a full project bag in this print. I had a friend that looked it up, but the fabric was only in the UK, and it was super expensive to have shipped. So if you make project bags and you have this fabric, please let me know, and I would love to commission a bag from you. This is from Bakery Bears Cottage. I already talked about that. It's from the Bakery Bears. This bag is from Mina Phillip of the Knitting Expat when she made project bags. I've shown the bigger version of this, and I also have a little Notions pouch. I kind of went crazy for this fabric, but it's Mina Makes. And this is my, oh, I'm a lot further on this than I thought I was. I can't remember the name of the pattern. You guys are yelling it at me right now. But it is a poncho. And it's from Michelle Knit Pearl Hunter. Talked about her a few minutes ago. But I love this. I love this so much. It is difficult to knit. I should probably switch to, I'm a little afraid to switch needles now because I don't want it to change my gauge. But I should probably switch to wood needles because I'm knitting them on my Dyak Craft needles. And it's just too, what do you call it? Too, like, slippery. Anyway, this is, Kobasi by Haiku, and what it is, it's 55% cotton, 16% bamboo, 21% elastic nylon, and 8% silk. And each one of these is about 50 grams. And this is in the Seattle Sky colorway. And I'm making the large size. And I really love how it's turning out. So basically you knit a big giant rectangle and then you seam it together to make a poncho. And I love it so far. I need to finish it. I really do. This will be perfect for fall and spring. Maybe I'll have it done by next spring. I'll make it a goal to have it done by next spring. This will probably be a good winter project for me to work on. But anyway, I really love how it's turning out. I hope I can figure out where I am in the pattern, because that would be bad if I can't figure that out. But I really love this. Really awesome. It's a free pattern on her website. It might be paid for now, because I went, most of these all these knit-alongs were free at one point. I think it is paid for now, actually. I think I had to buy it. They were all free when we did the knit-along, but then I waited too long and I never printed out the pattern, and then I had to pay for it. My next one is in another bird leg bags. If you guys haven't seen these cases before, they are my favorite. So they're the Perfect Notions case, and it's by Nancy's Knit Knacks. And they open up, and they have these little sections. I have a couple of these. So you just throw I have knitting needles in there. I have little snips. I've got like keys, cord keys. There's needle protectors in here. I have stitch markers, more stitch markers, progress keepers. Apparently I didn't know what to put in this one, so I put a button in there from the lemonade shop. But anyway, I love these. These are perfect to have for every little Notions pouch. Again, this is another Outlander knit along. I couldn't tell you the designer or the pattern name, but it is on my Ravelry page. I will tell you that I know it's an Outlander knit along, and it's the most recent one that Jimmy Beans Wool hosted. So of course that means it's going to be Lorna's Laces yarn. I hear the mailman. Those goodies are going to have to wait to be shown until next podcast, though, because I already finished podcasting for this week. If there is anything. There might not be. So, Lorna's Laces Shepherd Sock, and it's 80% superwash merino wool, 20% nylon. And I have Fjord and Jamie's Kilt. And, actually, I think the name of the pattern is Jamie's Kilt. I might be wrong. This is all tangled. That's what happens when these projects just sit in a bag for so long. They just get tangled. Again, I'm using Diet Craft needles. Come on. Oop. And this is what I have so far. And this is actually a really cool pattern. It's going to look really neat when it's done. It's another shawl. So yeah. There's that one. Oh, Fjord and Jamie's Kilt. My next one is a sock whip, and this is the Exis. It didn't have a cuff. I'll show you. It's a cabled pattern on the socks, and it actually will look really cool. And I don't knit very many cabled socks, but it didn't have a cuff on it, and I really like cuffs on my socks, so I decided, so basically it just started at the cable. So I put a cuff on it. The problem is that when it was done, I realized that the cabling was in the cuff. So there was a cuff, it's just the cabling pattern was in the cuff. So I realized that when I got through, I think, 2 repeats of the cabling. So I'm going to rip this out, take out the extra cuff piece that I did because it's not necessary, and just start from the beginning again. I remember having a lot of difficulty with this just because like the cable pattern is like a 1 or 2, it's a 1 stitch cable pattern. So I need to look up YouTube tutorials because I know there's a way to do cabling without a cable needle, and I need to learn how to do that. And when I cast it back on, I'll probably do one at a time. But this yarn was, back in the day, a couple years ago, I used to subscribe to Yarn Box. And this was one of the, when they first started the sock yarn box, I think the first box I got had like Leading Men Fiber Arts in it. And then this box was the second one. It had Annie yarns in it. And this is in the Rose Garden colorway. It's 80% superwash merino, 10% cashmere, 10% nylon. So there's those. Those are going to be really beautiful socks, probably gift socks. I haven't decided yet. Maybe they'll be for me once I take those out and cast them back on. And I think this is the last whip you guys have never seen. Why do I have 2 pairs of needles in here? I don't know. Oh, I never transferred these. Oh, that's what I did. I put them on DPNs as a holder. Okay. So I have a set of Hiya Sharp sock needles, and I've only used them once, and that's to do this toe. So I feel really guilty about that. I need to use them. But anyway, so here's the needle. I slipped this onto DPN so I could do the toe on this and then do 2 at a time, but now that I'm a 1 at a time sock knitter, I might not. This is, again, I don't know the pattern, but you can find it on Ravelry. It's from Michelle Pearl Hunter, and she was doing a toe-up cabled sock. So I told you I did toe-up socks before, and this is one of them. And this is using Crazy Zobber Ball in the Indiche Rosa colorway. That's how it will work up. And here's what it looks caked up. It's pink and fuchsia and purple and black. And I really like it. So those will be socks at some point. Again, most of these whips you can barely count as whips. Okay, this one I just showed on the main podcast, so I'm not going to go into too much detail about it. But it is Nomadic Yarns in the I Woke Up Like This colorway. I'm at the toe decrease on the first sock, so I need to get that done and cast on the second sock. I worked on this week, so it's a more recent whip. The next one is my Hippo for Cinco sock. Again, I went into detail on the most recent podcast, so I'm not going to do it again. Lolo did it, and I knit from the cuff to here while I was watching Game of Thrones this week. So the next whip I'm going to show because, and I don't know how well you guys are going to get to see it, but I haven't shown it in a while. I haven't really worked on it either, but I did want to just throw it out there. This is my Cozy Memories blanket, and now that I'm pulling it out, I almost wish I didn't pull it out because now I just want to work on it. I want this so bad for wintertime. It is so comfortable. Anyway, so here's my Cozy Memories blanket. I can't really show it very well on the podcast. I'll do what I can. So I mentioned this before, and it smells really good because I use the Tough Woolen Tan Balm when I'm knitting on it. So the smell transfers to the blanket, and I love that. So basically what I did is I'll start at the bottom row. This is really hard to show. Okay. From this square right here, the very bottom, this purple square, over to this corner right here. So that's 10 over. So from there up to here are all yarns that I've used in projects that I've made. From this square down to this square and to the right and to that way are all minis that I've gotten in swaps before. So yeah, I really love this blanket so much, and I need to work on it some more. I just haven't. It's summertime. I haven't worked on it since probably May, and it's probably just because it's summertime. I'll get caught up on it because my goal is to do a square a day. So by the end of the year, I will have 365 squares because I started it January 1st. I just haven't had the will, want, whatever you want to call it, to work on it. But I do have lots of squares to add. So I need to get moving on that. And this is my last whip that I want to show. I've showed this on the podcast several times, and I haven't really worked on it too much. Actually, I haven't worked on it at all since the last time I showed it. But this is my scrappy crochet blanket. This is like the third or fourth time I cast it on because I was having so much trouble. But the minute I switched to a corner-to-corner blanket, no troubles. I've gotten some advice on how to make it rectangular instead of square, so I will be doing that. And here's my giant ball of awesomeness. This is my this is basically just a bunch of scraps tied together into a giant ball. So there's that. Alright guys, that's all my whips. So if you made it through that, thank you so much for taking a look at everything I've got going on. That's all I've got. Hopefully I'll get working on some of these. Get them off the needles. This looks really empty. All right, well, thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next week for the regular podcast. Bye.